treasure finders. As you can see, I'm coming to you from sunny California. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube, and I'm sorry about that, but thank you for sticking with me. I had a few life things happen, and I'll go into that in a future video, but right now I'm coming to you from California. My son and his husband live in the San Diego area, and earlier this year my husband and I flew out to help them with some home projects. They have very demanding careers and haven't had a lot of time to work on their new house. So stay until the end and you can see the projects that we were helping them with. But as my reward for all of my hard work in their house, I got to go beachcombing. I dragged my boys out to the beach, as you can see in the next few clips. My husband, he gets bored very quickly from beachcombing, and my son was kind of into it. So we had a wonderful afternoon in California on the coast looking for sea glass and for rocks and for quartz, and stay tuned, you'll kind of see what we did find. And I made a little jar for my son of mostly quartz and some of the sea glass that we found. So stay tuned and we will show you the California coast. As you can see, the beach that we were on, it was very rocky. It had lots of beautiful stones, and we found, as you can see here, a lot of quartz. I love quartz, and it comes in all shapes and sizes on this beach. I'm not going to say exactly where this was. If you live in the area, you'll be able to figure it out. But this location was given to me by a friend, a beachcombing friend, and I think it's kind of one of her hot spots. So it's near the town of Del Mar, so that gives you a little bit of an indication, but part of beachcombing is finding the locations, and I really appreciate her telling me about this. It was at low tide, so we had better access to the stones on the beach, and look at all this quartz that we found. It was just everywhere. And I'll show you in just a little bit all of the quartz that we actually did pick up. There's my son. He was really into it, and it was just an amazing, beautiful day. And here's my husband getting fairly bored already. So later on, we go to a different beach, and my husband was able to go hiking up above the cliff. So we stayed on the beach and continued to beachcomb, and he got to get some exercise and do that. I had to be really careful on these rocks here. My son almost fell stepping on an unsteady rock, but with the tide out, you could go underneath the bridge behind us and had access to a lot of the different stones.
Nice little fall.
Yeah.
My son gets the award for the first sea glass of the day. We found more sea glass at the second location that we're going to head to after we check out this location. We're going to head down to Torrey Pines State Beach, and there was more sea glass to be found there. But I did like poking around underneath this bridge. Found some really interesting things under here, which I'll show you in a second. This is kind of cool. Found a little piece of pottery. I always like to find pieces of pottery, and of course more quartz. And more quartz. This was a really, really strange rock. It's almost like a hagstone, but it had this seaweed almost attached to it. It reminded me of a face with hair. I ended up not keeping it because of the seaweed, but I probably should have because the hagstone was pretty cool. If it was a hagstone, I'm not sure. If somebody wants to weigh in on what that is. This is the first of two really huge worm snail colonies that I found. They're so cool. I ended up not keeping those either because I wasn't sure how to clean them. They didn't really smell, but I don't know, I just think they're really fascinating. And there was not a lot of shells to be found, that's for sure, so it was kind of fun to find a little scallop. Here's the second worm snail colony that I found. This one was a little bit cleaner and it was very fascinating, I think. Of course, no sea glass hunt is complete until you find a piece of cobalt. Yay! I found one piece of cobalt on this particular day, but I'll take it. It's fun. Another really nice piece of quartz. Sorry, my hands shake. You all know that about me. It was really fun watching the surfers out here. The waves were huge, and they were quite something. We used the back of my son's truck to collect all of our finds for the first stop of the day, and you can see we just keep emptying our pockets. I kind of forgot to bring anything to put my stones in, so just a cool couple pieces of glass and tons of quartz. I ended up making, which I'll show you later, a little jar for my son. I think I mentioned that already, and I brought some home to make a jar for myself, which I have not yet made, but yeah, just tons of really cool quartz and a few stones and some shells and all kinds of good treasures. Look how beautiful that quartz is. I just love it. So it's time to move on down the beach to Torrey Pines State Beach, and here's the cliffs. There's hiking trails up above, and so my husband headed up there to hike while my son and I stayed down to just chit chat and do some more beach combing. And I did find a little bit more sea glass down on the beach here. It was just a beautiful day. This was in March actually, and tons of people and families out on the beach that day. I think I spy some Coke bottle glass. Yep. Very nice piece of Coke bottle glass. And a nice frosted piece of white glass as well. My son found this little teeny shell. I don't know if it's a type of olive. If anybody can tell, it's super small, and I think it's just a little type of an olive. If anybody knows, let me know. And here's the jar of quartz that I made for my son. He chose this jar, and if you know me personally, you'll know why he chose this jar. It has some family meaning to it, and so this jar sits in his newly renovated bathroom that we helped him with, and I think it turned out really, really nice. So now on to Old Town San Diego. We met some friends in Old Town San Diego, and of course this is the shop that I found right away. While we were waiting for them, we had a few minutes to kill, and I found this really cool mineral rock fossil gem store. They had so many cool things to look at. I didn't purchase anything here, but just it's kind of like being a kid in a candy store for me, just looking at all of the cool fossils and gemstones and just really interesting crystals. So I don't know if you've ever been to any of these stores, but I would highly recommend popping in. They truly are a really fun and interesting stop. And here are our friends Jason and Lisa, who we know from the RVing world, and their channel is Circuit Ridin' RV, so you should check them out. We had a wonderful lunch together. So here are the home projects. I don't have a mask on from COVID. I have a mask on because we were sanding and staining my son's kitchen cupboards. So here's sort of some before pictures of the kitchen without the cupboards on. They took all the faces off, and then we painted them and rehung them and put new hardware on, and it just turned out really amazing, I think. I think we all did a great job. And my husband was working on this bathroom. Their house was built in the 70s, and so my husband sanded this whole thing. You'll see in this picture he's just covered with drywall dust from sanding in there. And here's the finished bathroom. We think it turned out so nice. And the next project was helping them put in closets. I don't have a before picture of their closets, but they were really almost crumbling. So we redid 2 of their closets for them for all of the Navy uniforms. And here was our celebratory gin and tonics. And we also spent a little time out on the town with them, and we just really, really enjoyed seeing them because we don't get to see them enough, and celebrating a job well done. So thanks for coming along with me today, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you on the beach somewhere.